Y'all, we gotta get to this Shiloh. Lord have mercy. This Shiloh Hendrix story. I already know some of y'all ain't gonna like my take on it. And I'm gonna do my best to be fair. I really am. But it's hard. It's hard for me to be emotionally like all up in arms over some words. So I'm gonna do my best. I'm gonna do my best. We're gonna talk about it. So, what I have to do to give you guys some context, the Shiloh Hendrix controversy, in my opinion, is this is the end result of when when a culture keeps like poking the bear and now I want to say the black community is getting a taste of its own medicine and it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good. And if you know anything about me, I absolutely love the Constitution. I love this country, and I love all of the amendments, especially the First Amendment. And I'm just one of those free speech kind of people. I don't like censorship. Outside of censoring things, appropriate things, and shielding children from it, I'm kind of one of those like words don't hurt me. Like I was called the N word, not ER, in the 10th grade when I attended private school in the capital of the Confederacy, back in 1995. And I'll never forget, I was taken aback because I couldn't believe it happened. I was like, did he just call me the N-word? And he did. He did. And my initial knee-jerk reaction was like, oh, okay, that's what we doing. Now, I could have allowed that word, or should I say internalized that word and allowed it to define me, but I didn't. I was just like, oh, he is super ignorant. Now I know which one in my class is super racist, and I'm just going to stay away from him. And I think the teacher was shocked. All the kids in the class were shocked. Like nobody knew what to do. Everybody just kind of froze. And I don't know what they were expecting me to do. I was just like, okay, well, he's stupid. I was like, listen, I don't even want to be in this class anyway, but I don't have a choice. So can we move on? Like, I didn't really want to be the center of attention. I kind of just brushed it off. And so I don't get emotionally like worked up over the N word. ER or the hard A or the hard ER. I don't. Why? Because within black vernacular, we use the N word all the time. Like all the time. And I understand when we use it, we're using it as a term of endearment or in like a brotherly, camaraderie sense. Okay. Or depending on the aggression and the tone and how it's said, it means a different meaning. So it really just depends. But overall, it's a word that you have some aspects of our community are going to use it. They're not going to stop using it. They're going to call each other that. They're going to call other people of different ethnicities that. They're just using it as a derogatory term, and it's not reflective of the person's ethnicity. It's more of a behavioral description, right? Okay, fine. And then you have individuals who the word is deeply painful for them. I don't know why. I'm just, this is my perspective. It is not a word that is going to cause me to crash out or to feel inferior in any way. It just doesn't. One, it's going to tell me everything that I need to know about you. And because I understand that hatred in the heart is a sin problem, I'm not trying to look to the government to legislate these spiritual issues, right? I'm just like, I can't police your speech. And even if I do police your speech legislatively, it has done nothing to eradicate the hatred in your heart that is the driving force behind the things that you say anyway. So what's the point? if I hear a white person use it, it lets me know, oh, that's how you are. But what you want to do? Fight? I'm not fighting you over the word. Why? Because that gives it power. And words don't have power over me. I don't internalize them in that way. I distinctly remember my grandmother used to say, it's not what they call you, it's what you answer to. And so resilient people, strong-minded people, confident people do not think of words as weapons and then allow it in such a way to impact their daily life. So in comes Shiloh Hendrix, white woman up in Minnesota who, truth be told, she's probably, there's a whole lot of white people who feel just like how she feels. I don't know why y'all thought that went away. Problem is, the environment that we currently live in right now makes it so socially not acceptable to speak that way in public that I think Shiloh, because of the current climate, was like, I'm just so sick of this. I'm sick of stifling my hatred. I just want my hatred to come out. If they can let their hatred be made known and be manifest and say what they want to say, now that this little black child has done something to me that I feel was inappropriate, I'm going to hurl this epithet at him, and I don't care who likes it. Was it appropriate? Of course not. Why are you speaking to a child this way? Like, he's a little boy. Why are you calling the little boy an N-word? Right? But here's what I would like to say. Let's be consistent and let's just be honest. If this were two black women in the park where one black mama called another black woman's child the N-word, we wouldn't even know about it. We would know about it. We would have never heard about it. You know why? Because it probably happens more often than not, where you have two parents, where you got that one kid that is overstepping boundaries. He's either in the personal space of another child, he's being a child, and he hasn't learned the discipline and like, you don't touch that if it doesn't belong to you. And kids are just being kids. Like, you see the two little ghetto moms at the park, and one is like, you need to tell that little you know how it is. And then the other mom would be like, yo, you tell your little, and then they both going back and forth, just hurling the N-word and the MF. I mean, it's colorful language. It's colorful language. And either it escalates and the two mamas end up fighting and the kids are crying with a soggy diaper and a snotty nose. You know the environment. Or the police get called, the kids got to go and listen. It's just a mess. But the point I'm making is, if it were two black mamas where one black mama called the other little kid the N-word with the A or the hard ER, we wouldn't be having the NAACP involved, right? We wouldn't have GoFundMe's topping almost $1 million collectively on both sides. Like, we wouldn't have none of this. Why? Because it's okay for two blacks to exhibit degenerative behavior and to call each other out their names and to have the children involved. That's just a normal Saturday morning at the playground for some communities. But because the black little boy was called the N-word by the white woman, now the whole country has got their eyes on this case, and now it's smoking out racists on both sides, right? It's smoking out the entitled black folks who are trying to act like their pearls are just clutched so tight. And the pain and the wounds of the past, it's like a band-aid being ripped all over again. It lies. You probably called your own child the N-word and a little MF for this morning. Where's the lie? I know parents that talk to their kids that way. And I'm like, what is wrong with you? Why are you talking to your child like that? They do it all the time. But now all of a sudden, because Shiloh, who I mean, she look a little rough around the edges. She all tatted up and she's just like, F you, F this. She like a little ghetto white chick. She's just doing what other ghetto poor white trash people do, which is speak their mind and they don't care what you feel about it. The only problem is she the wrong color. And now she's being exposed for being racist. And my thing is, Either we have freedom of speech to say whatever the heck we want to say, and it applies to both sides, or we don't. But if we start getting to the point where now they're calling to lock this woman up and put her in jail, I'm like, wow, y'all really milking this. Y'all are gonna grift and milk this to the nth power. Just squeeze blood out of a turnip. That's what we gonna do. I don't take you serious. I don't. I don't. I'm not excusing it or saying it was completely inappropriate and childish and immature and cruel to call a child that. It is. But Shaquana called her own child a little N-word every day in the grocery store, when she pick him up from daycare, when she drop him off with his little no good daddy. Like, why are we trying to act like this? Like, we've never heard this before. We've never heard an adult call a child an N-word. Y'all stop it. I had already said that I was going to cover Marc Lamont Hill's meltdown on this situation. And I want to expose the fact that this word only has power when certain people use it, and when we selectively want it to have power because we enjoy being victims. Oh, I think we drink it and just we eat it like it's a protein shake. Like, I ain't had my victim shake this week. Can I go and find me a serving of victimhood? Two things can be true at the same time. Shiloh was wrong, but Black people are hypocritical and they need to stop it. And to call for this woman to be arrested is just stupid. It's stupid and silly, because if this is where we're going, every time we hear Black women call white women Karens, every time we hear Black women call white people cracker and all kinds of derogatory names, are we going to call for their arrest too? Are we going to call that they're arrested? I mean, since we're trying to be consistent in police speech, if do I believe there's even a such thing as hate speech? I mean, speech can be hateful, but you are only personally harmed by these words because you give them power. That's why you're personally harmed and offended. But you've lost nothing outside of just some hurt feelings. However, when you allow and give this word that much power over you, all this does is prove to white people that you just weak and you have no resilience to withstand anything. That's why they don't respect you. Because all they got to do is hurl one little word at you and you are melting down, rolling around in the grass. Hear me clearly. The child did not deserve to be called that. But my question is, why aren't the adults? Let's take the autism out of it, because if I'm not mistaken, the little boy's autistic, so he may not even understand the full depth of what has happened. But let's just assume this was a child that is on track developmentally, and he's 4, and this has happened to him. Would this be the perfect opportunity to teach him, you know what, son, today at the playground, that lady said something that was not very nice. And when people say things to you that are not nice, this is how you respond. You don't show them, you don't give them any energy. Ignorance is, you're going to encounter so much ignorance in the world, and you're going to encounter it based from people who look like you and people who don't. But how you respond to it is really going to give a testament as to how I'm raising you and how resilient you are to actually face real atrocity and real oppression in this world. But that little word that she called you, that ain't nothing. She's stupid. She's stupid. She's ignorant. You know, that's not who you are. And little Tay Sean would be like, okay, and went and played and swung on the monkey bars and moved on. But now we can't do that. Now we gotta heighten it and make Taekwon believe that because a white woman hurled this term at him, that now that's who he is. He just gonna grow up. All that's gonna be is a poor little N-word. I can't do nothing. I can't go nowhere. Cause a little white lady named Charlotte called me an N-word. Like that is the picture of Black man that the left wants us to be. And that's why they're making such a big deal out of it. And they are going to make an example out of Shiloh. And then on the flip side, you know what this is going to do? This is just going to embolden more white folks. Be like, you know what? I tried being nice, but I'm done being nice. If they want to act mean and aggressive and disrespectful, hell, I'm gonna act mean and aggressive too. And I'm telling y'all, y'all don't want a race war. You don't want a race war because y'all, they got more guns than you. Okay. You know how many white friends? I got a lot of white friends. Lot of white friends. And when we're talking amongst ourselves, white folks will strategize and plan and plot. And during the pandemic, when we didn't know what was going down, I got one white girlfriend. She sent me a messenger. She was like, listen, if stuff pop off, you come up here to Kentucky now. You're here. We got plenty of guns and plenty of ammo. I was like, I got you, sis. Don't worry about it. I got plenty of places I could run to. Why? Because I'm telling y'all don't really want a race war. Now, for me, I'm not going to participate in a race war because my people are the ones who do the will of the Father. And we all got different shades of melanin and all different colors of brown. But what's going to end up happening is if this foolishness continues, which they want it to, they really want a problem that wasn't really a problem. They're trying to make it a problem. They're trying to make Black people and white people constantly fight and be at odds to where there's going to be an innocent Black person killed, an innocent white person killed. Like there's going to be bloodshed, all because of this perceived hatred. And folks are going to start snapping. And my question is, may the Lord be with you. May you have enough ammo and firearms to get through the war, because this is crazy. This is just crazy. But anyway, let's play this craziness.
And I don't want to live in a country where you can say an inappropriate, rude thing, which, by the way, Black people can say things to white people all the time and they never get canceled. There's no backlashing about this. I want to live in a country where people are allowed to say what they want unashamedly. And you will
go
not
on,
have
then.
So hold on. So this little young lady is self-admitted to be a racist. And you know what? I like white people like this. You know why? Because you ain't got to guess. She is telling you, I use the N-word often, liberally, whenever I feel like it, and I don't like you. Now I know, appreciate it. I know to stay away from you and all the people like you. It's them sleeper cells, the ones that you really don't know, that you really need to be worried about her. But she's harmless. She is harmless. I can guarantee you she's harmless. But notice Marc Lamont Hill's face when she speaks this self-evident truth. I should not be canceled for saying whatever I want to say when Black people will hurl all kinds of racial epithets at white people all the time and nobody says anything. And he scrunches up his face like that ain't true. When it is. It happens all the time. But it makes us look weak when the roles are reversed and they hurl it at you and now you melt down and can't take it. I'm like, don't play in the game if you ain't willing to take some scars. Okay? I'm just saying. This is the male cowardice that I'm talking about that work. And he's gonna lie in a clip after this and claim that the N-word don't hurt him. Okay.
Say
you
the
will
M-
not have
Go on,
free
say
speech.
go on. Say the M-word. Go on.
No.
hang
Don't
on.
invite. No.
No.
I don't want you to invite this woman to say a racially harmful term in front of me, because I'm the only on here. So if she says it, I'm the victim of it. So please don't invite her for ratings to call me the N-word, because that's basically what it's going to be. There's a bunch of white people up here. You and one on the left here, and to ask her to say the N-word while I'm here is ridiculous. You would not sit here with a Jewish person and say, please use a Jewish slur in front of this Jewish. It's ridiculous. I understand you don't have any bad intent, Pierce. I understand what you're trying to do, but we already know she's racist, and I don't want to invite a racist.
Look at him crashing out. Look at him crashing out. Don't call him if you're ever in a fight. Don't call him because he can't. let me say something really quick in passing. I was reading my comments today. And in the last video where I played this clip, I was making fun of Marc Lamont Hill, and I was talking about my hormonal imbalance and how I've got too much testosterone because I'm perimenopausal, and it's a lot better now. I'm hoping y'all knew that I said I was joking when I said I could beat Marc Lamont Hill. I don't know who walked away from that really thinking I thought I was froggy enough to really do it. It was a joke, and I can't believe I actually have to bring this up, but I was playing. I don't fight men. The goal of that statement was to demonstrate how weak and jellyback Marc Lamont Hill is, because I got more testosterone in my hormonally imbalanced body than he has just inherently being a man. It's called hyperbole. I'm not trying to fight Marc Lamont Hill. Okay, I am 5'2". You ain't got to know how much I weigh yet until I hit my goal weight, and I'm almost there. Y'all, listen. Y'all see this? Y'all see that collarbone? Yes. Okay. But y'all see him crashing out. Now listen to what he's about to say. That was just funny. I'm sorry. I can't watch that enough to see. She didn't say the N-word. He's mad at Pierce for even mentioning or trying to entice her to say it. And look how strong and powerful she looks compared to his erratic. Like, everybody's laughing at him. No one respects him. Everybody's laughing at him, including the racist white woman. And I don't blame her. Because I'd be like, if you are the mascot and representative for strong masculine black male in the black community, y'all in trouble. Like, if I'm the white girl, that's how I'm looking at him. That's how I'm looking at him. He's weak.
Harm to me.
So by the time I got to the end, my thing was, and some people, I got all these, I sent you a couple, I think one of them, I got so many racist emails and tweets and I mean, which always happens when I go on TV, right? But this was very particular because people thought the right was, or the conservative racist right was saying like, you know, he chimped out. That's what they.
No. I'm conservative. I'm on the right. And I'm not racist. I just called it like I saw it. I called you a punk. You crashed out on a show and lost it. And she didn't even use the N-word. You said her using it would have caused you emotional harm. Who uses that kind of... What man talks about emotional harm? Your emotions ain't got no business being harmed by a woman that you're not in a relationship with. You're not married to her. You ain't got no kids together. This woman gonna cause you emotional harm. This is what you said. That's what he said.
I always say, right, that's the language they use, right? That I chimped out over the N-word, that I got so upset about the N-word, and people missed the point. I wasn't angry at the prospect of hearing the N-word. I hear the N-word all the time, right? I was frustrated with Pierce for trying to create a space to invite someone or dare someone to use that word, because he shouldn't be able to do that.
Why not? Why can't he dare someone to use it? Why can't she use it? And why are you're allowed to say it? You hear it all the time. So the word don't bother you, but just the invitation, the provocation of use of the word made you crash out. Nigga, don't nobody believe you. If you don't cut it out. This race grievance industry is so profitable, but and it's making some money. But you are losing your self-respect and your dignity in the process, and your manhood. Like, that is gone. Because any self-respecting masculine man that says her words can cause emotional harm, you deserve to be pimp slapped. You deserve it. And then to say, well, it's not the word. So then what is it? Is it the word, or it's not the word? Or it's just the invitation of the use of the word? So words are sticks and stones. Like, there's a sticks and the stones now. Out of all of the things that are wrong and deficient in our community, this is the hill we're dying on. Because one white woman called a little black boy the N-word. This is what we're spending all of this time. Like, y'all, the NAACP, is involved now. They're calling for this woman's arrest. I'm like, all right, the bed y'all make, I hope you're prepared to lie in it. I hope so. I really do.
Right? Like, if I'm the only black, like, again, if they were, it would be like me saying, yo, you won't say the B word. You won't say it. You won't say, call her one. Go ahead. Right? Like, who am I to invite you to do that to prove you're sexist?
I feel like